we are back. Hopefully, I can be heard okay. I'm not going to put on music this time because apparently the no copyright sounds YouTube mix is not really no copyright. So that didn't work out for me last time. But this time, we're going to see about building some items to manage filter types, if that makes any sense. It will in a little bit. All right, so we have filter types. Essentially, what are we using different filter terms for against certain data sets, etc. So when we want to build a model, we can go down here to template model, and then we simply grab basically a bunch of stuff out of the model, go into our filter type, which is our new model that we're making, and then we get to kind of go through this and replace basically a bunch of stuff and go from there. So we're going to say replace filter type there, and then we're going to, okay, so we have record tracking, which we don't actually need for this, which we can make go away. Okay, and then we have record ID. This is going to end up being filter type ID. Okay, so we have filter type ID in the current document replaced. Okay, and then because it's on as cap sensitive, we do the exact same thing for the next one. We don't need to format the filter type, so that's going to go away. And this isn't going to have server copies, local copies, so these are going away. Local filter type, yep, that's gone. Okay, good. Then when we have text field, we're going to replace it with filter type name. Okay, and we're going to place that. And then again, it's case sensitive, so we replace that in the current document too. Okay, now because we're not dealing with record tracking, we're going to have to remove that part, and then we have filter type name. Now basically everything else in this model from the template can be removed because it's not relevant to what we're doing. So we're going to take everything from there to here, and it's gone. All right, so we have filter type ID and filter type name. Those two fields alone make the filter type model. Pretty simple. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Essentially, you could have filter types like filter terms. Essentially, will fit into like, do they fit against dates? Do they fit against numbers or currency or text or whatever? So that ends up meaning is we have filter type term here as a model. We're going to add a class, which again, filter type term model. Okay, easy enough. Filter type and term and model. So now we basically have the same thing. So we're going to put in the constructor. Okay. Now instead of dropping in a bunch of stuff and then having to delete it, I'm going to go over to the template model again. And we're just going to pull in the interface notification like this. Boom, like so. Okay, so we have that. And then we're going to deal with properties and fields. Essentially, this is the joining of filter types and terms. So the first one is going to be a private filter type model, which we'll simply name filter type equals new filter type model. Okay, and then public filter type model, filter type, yep, which when we get it, we return filter type, and when we set it, we do filter type and notify property changed. Okay, then filter term, so property private, filter term model. Again, filter term, which is new filter term, public filter term, there we go. So IntelliType is doing wonders here to speed things up. Perfect. Okay, so now we basically have filter types and filter terms. Pretty simple. Okay, so we have properties and fields, and we can take out the extra space, and that works right. Okay, So we have the model of filter types and terms. We can get rid of some of these other objects. So now that we have filter types and terms um, as two different models, we probably would need to be able to like populate list of filter types or terms or whatever. And one of the filter types we're going to have is text, and I'll put that into SQLite, and we'll add a new one, and then we would have dates. Okay, so we'll commit those two, which is fine. So what does that mean? Let's go ahead and grab, make some actions. So we'll go ahead and make a class in here for filter type actions. Okay, so now we have a class for actions, and we're simply going to go back to our template. Same exact process as we did before, except we're only going to deal with SQLite. We're not going to deal with SQL Server, so we'll just end up taking it out. We'll move it over. So we'll go over here and drop the whole thing. Is it 1,400 lines long? Is it very long? Absolutely it is, but there's a reason for it. So now we're simply going to replace the word template and replace it with filter type within a current document. Replace. Okay. Lots of this stuff is going to go away. And then up here, we'll simply go I notify property changed. Okay. So that part's there. We have our region. Not sure why this one doesn't like it, but okay. Well, that's all fine, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Let's just re-grab this part here. My guess is something went awry, but we're gonna just take it and drop it in. Very good. Cool. Now we have that part. It probably added, a compiler service or something. So then we have SQLite. Again, same sort of thing. We drop in the SQLite reference, and then we have the SQL Server reference, which we don't need. So that goes away. And then we have a navigation reference, which we do need. That's our utility. Okay, easy enough. So SQLite, navigation, utilities. Now we get into static collections and objects. So we don't have anything dealing with a simple model. This is the simple list. We're just going to deal with a list because the model is not very complicated. So we simply have that, and then we're going to replace everything that says filter type model with filter type underscore M. Replace that in the current document. Works for me, except we don't have access to that model. So we're going to do filter features, filter type models. Boom, done. Yep, features, filter type models. Yep, that seems to work. And observable collections. So that's going to add this one, and that should work. All right, we have list filter types. We have a selected filter type. We have new filter type, which is fine, so all of those can minimize. Okay, so utilities are good. Static collections and objects are good. Local record count, this basically goes away. We don't need it for this. Okay, then we're into SQLite commands. Drop SQLite table. Nope, not using that. Create SQLite table. Yeah, we will eventually need that, so we're going to put that one in. And then this does the command. So we're basically saying, hey, go into SQLite setup and run that command. And I think we have that already. Then populate SQLite table. Again, it goes into SQL setup and it does that. We have a call to it here. That's pretty easy. All right. Then we have SQLite methods. Well, simply enough, if we just re-add that package, it will drop in. So then we have insert into filter type, filter type. We're not using added and stuff like that in this context, so we're just doing filter type name. So we're going to replace everything text field with filter type name in the current document. Boom, done. Okay, and we then have that. And again, we're not dealing with local because it's essentially all going to be set up one way. And then we have filter type, yep, and then filter type name. That's gone. Okay, again, this can be gone. All right, and then this one's trying to select the local filter type, which we're just going to remove the local reference here. Okay, so that is pretty easy. So essentially, this is the inserting statement, that is the selecting statement. They both get tied together, and then they run here. And then we're going to replace everything that says record ID with filter type ID as well. So current document, boom, that part's taken care of. Again, we don't, oops, I completely mashed that replacement. Control Z, yep, with filter type ID. All right, current document, there we go. Filter type name, we don't need those, we don't need that. Why don't we have, okay, we got that one. And again, this one, everything dealing with local, we don't need to worry about. So it's going to read the filter type ID. I think I can just do that, just do like a replace a local filter type, but I can't imagine there's many more references to this. So we're going to say while that, then that, and this is going to add it to the list. Filter type equals that, action completed. So this one takes care of adding a new filter type. This one takes care of clearing from the SQLite, and this basically deletes all the content. So we're going to eliminate that too. Okay, and then we have count local, which we're going to eliminate. Delete, which again, I don't think we're going to need it. And this is trying to use an is deleted, so it's like a soft delete statement. So we don't do that. Not on this one. Okay, so we have add, we have get simple list. Again, we don't need that. Filter type, this one's get based on an ID. So these are great for certain aspects, but it can be taken away for what we're doing here. So this one is basically get simple list, and I think I already have like a list where it's going to pull all of them. That's this one. This is the one that I want to get to very quickly. So we have this one where we get the content of it based on an ID, and we return the model. So this makes it super, super simple. Okay, filter type ID, filter type ID, that's pretty simple. And then all of these were just here as part of the template. So we have filter type ID. I don't know how I misspelled this, but essentially everything that's capital, it's not recognizing. So we're going to replace that. Decimal, that goes away too. So that's easy enough. Then it returns the record. Good. So that's get. Then we have list. List is going to be helpful in some cases, but again, it's simply select this, give this the name from the view, order it by name. That's pretty easy. This one we're taking, this is like filter type simple model, but we're going to replace filter type simple model with filter type M. All right, replace that. Okay, easy enough. Filter type ID, filter type name, and then this one says simple list filter types, and we'll just replace that with list. So easy enough. Minimize that. So from here, this one's selecting filter types based on list page fields and standard filters. We don't have a list page model. At least we don't have a reference to it, so we're going to add that. Boom, list page model. And then filter type filters, which we don't actually have. What is this? Reference between models and features. Makes sense, because originally, when I built the model, it is over here. So we have filter type M, and that just gives me filter type ID, filter type name. And if we were to look at filter type model here, okay, that's essentially the same exact thing. So I could definitely see where that could be a problem. but the ambiguity is created by the fact that this is referencing the models here. So we're just going to take that out. Well, of course, then list page gets taken out too. So the only thing I could think of is that the filter type model here, it really doesn't have any references. Ooh, it has a lot of references. Okay, interface creator, observable collection of filter types. Yeah, yeah, I know. Okay, that's fine. We can delete this one because we have a new one now. We also have filter type filters, which a little bit more specific to what we're working on, but I don't know that I'll deal with that right now. Then we have update filter for SQLite. Then we have an entire block of SQL Server methods, which we're going to make go away. Okay, and then we have a block of navigation methods. Now the navigation methods won't compile because it's looking for a detail view and a view model and stuff we haven't built yet. So we're going to build some of this. We currently have like 25 variables we can't use right now because we need some more classes. So we're going to go to filter type. We have actions, so very similar to our setup templates. We set up filters here, we set up filters there. We're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to do add class, and we'll call it filter type filters. Okay, and that will be there for now. So this is fine. Dealable deal. We can go through this relatively quickly. This essentially says count the number of matching records from the view based on a where clause. And so this is going to pull this. It doesn't really have any other fields, so we'll take out that. And then where filter type is greater than or equal to 0, that's all fine. And then this says, okay, filters doesn't equal 0. Take filters selected, filter type for filter type name does not equal null. Well, that's assuming that we have those inside of the filters class, which we don't yet. So we're going to have to go into template filters, filter type filters. Okay, so inside of template filters, just like we've done with all the other classes so far, well, first we're going to give a reference back to the filter type model, which we now have, which is good. And then this one says inconsistent accessibility. So let's go to the definition, make sure this model is turned public so we can continue using it. All right, and those work now. All right, so filters, pretty easy so far. We'll, again, copy a bunch of stuff and use it for what we will. So let's copy everything in template filters, go over to filter type filters, paste that down, and let's remove everything that references template, replace it with filter type within the current document. Boom, placed, excellent. And in here, we'll do iNotify property changed because that works, and then we'll change this to public. All right, so now we have interface change in notification, which we have taken care of. This one is then filter type for an integer field, which will basically just be filter type ID. So that's pretty easy. So we're going to say replace every reference of integer field with filter type ID in the current document. Excellent, that one works. And so that makes sense. So this is essentially what filter types are applicable to this field. This one is the public version of that. And this one is which one did you select, and the public version of that. Okay. Then this one is the text field that we'd be working against. So that's going to be filter type name. So we're going to say text field, replace with filter type name within the current document. Replace that. So again, these are the filter types that apply, and the public version. This is the selected filter type of that field, and the public version. And then this is the string, the value you're filtering against, and the public version. Okay, and this is a date field. We don't have a date field in this model, So that can go away. Okay, that's easy enough. Then we have a method. The method simply says clear filters. So the filter type name would simply go away. But we also have a filter value that should be up here. This one is the filter type. This one's a selected filter type. And then we would probably need a filter value as well. We don't seem to have it here, but we could say private static filter type. It would be like filter value. No, filter value. And this would be for filter type ID field. Okay, which is, no, it would be a filter type M. It would be a private static integer, nullable integer. Okay, public integer filter value filter type ID. Yep. Okay, that's there. That's there. Notify property changes also there. So these are the types that are available. This is the type that we selected. This is the value that we're searching against. So again, types available, types selected, value we're searching against. These are the private ones and the public ones. That way we can use all that fun stuff. And then we can use filter value, filter type is going to then equal null. All right, so that makes sense. So essentially that would end up clearing the filters of the class that works there. So we have now filter type filter set up. So back inside of, well, template filters are fine. And then we have this one. So this is basically saying selected filter type for filter type name. If that's not null, then is the filter type, so the filter value that we gave not equal to a blank string, and filter type name is like this value. Okay, now we don't have one in here for filter type ID at the moment, so we can put one in, and we would simply say selected filter type does not equal null, and then we would say filter value for filter type ID, and we would say filter type ID equals filter type or filter value for filter type ID. Okay, and I don't think I need anything after that, but we're going to insert an extra space just in case. All right, so we have that. Now, operator. Wait, so filters, filter value, filter type ID, which is a decimal. Operator copy, oh, right, does not equal string. We would have to equal does not equal null. Okay, that makes sense because it's nullable and it's not a string, so it would never equal a string. So we have those two. We append the where to the count, we append the where to the select, we have the order by, we have the limit, we have the offset, we have the count, we have all that added together. We push all that through here, we get our first result set, we get our list cleared, then we go and get our next result set, which is this one, and we remove all that fun stuff. Then we add those findings to the list in memory. We close the connection, we state we're completed, and we return action complete at the bottom. Yay! All right, that works. So from here, we still have 13 errors. Okay, so we're going to say, if this is dirty, then do that. Well, that's assuming we're using the record tracking, and I don't believe we put the record tracking into the model because we really weren't using it. So, yeah. So essentially, if we run the update statement for this, then it will save. So we can take this out like that, and then we just confirm if the user wants to save changes or not. And we have the ID. We can remove that. We have the name. We can remove these three. Okay, and again, we remove the reference there. So that makes it pretty simple. All right, so that's our update statement in SQLite. We have our navigation methods. This is looking for a page we haven't made. This is looking for a view model we haven't made. So how do we fix that? Well, we would simply go into here, add a page. I don't suspect we're actually going to need the pages because for this purpose, we'll probably just do it from the database, but we can go through the practice. So in this case, we're trying to build a page for the filter type detail view. That's exactly what we have to name it. So filter type detail view, okay? And that page goes in that folder. Boom, excellent. So at that point in time, the view now exists, so this will compile. So let's do filter type detail view. All right, fine. Save, build. All right, and it will error because it has a bunch of stuff, right? Exactly. So I'm pretty sure I basically hosed, everything because I have to swap it out for feature type models from the models page instead. All right, so close that and filter type detail view. Excellent. And then we'll add a view model. So we're going to add a class filter type detail view model. Boom. Okay, now we have the view model. And it doesn't have that area yet because really we need to rebuild it again. And it's going to give me like 48 errors because it's like, oh, you don't have that. Well, we moved something, so of course we would break everything. Close that, save it. Excellent. Now that we have this, we can do filter type detail view model, and now it recognizes that one. Now this one is looking at the view model saying we need the current filter type as the record. Okay, makes sense since the detail version basically has nothing in it. We'll go down here to the templates detail view model like so, and we're going to pull everything this normally has, and we'll just trim it down. Okay, boom. Another 100 lines that, and we will replace template with filter type. Okay, minimize this. We won't end up needing permissions for this. They're here, but I'm not going to use them. And we're going to replace everything that says template with filter type within this current document. Boom. And Control Z, Control H, filter type model with filter type M in the current document again. So we have that. So that's pretty simple, except it doesn't have the right area referenced. So now it does. Okay. And then this one's asking for filter type actions. That one can be referenced now too. And then we have our navigation, and we have our detail page model, which is just a generic one where it's kind of like building based on these values that are hard-coded up top. And then this one basically says, hey, we want to delete the record. How do we delete the record? This is how we delete it. Well, we're not giving them that option. We're not doing that here. So save then runs the update with the current record. If user has permission to add records, but again, we're not doing that either. We're just going to save it, and that's going to run the update. So that makes sense. And then these can get removed too. So we whittled down 100 plus lines. We're on 101-ish. And it's not as streamlined, but it'll work. So we got features. We got filter type. Okay, remove that. And we'll just correct those things. So then those can be removed as well. Boom, done. Save. So the views don't actually get referenced in the view model, so that can be removed. And then we don't seem to have any references of error handling, of threading, generics, collections, all that fun stuff. So we don't have that. But that's fine here. So this goes away. Why does that go away? Because inside of the actions, no, not actions. That's the template. This is filter type actions. This basically says, hey, whatever record you're currently looking at is this record here. And then record is loading is true. We're going to make that go away. Okay, so that's gone. and then filter type new view, new page. All right, we have a page, we have filter type new view. All right, so that is now that one. And now that will compile and it recognizes the page is available. Go to list, that needs a list of the options. So again, we'll do the same thing where we say filter type list view. All right, so now we have view and that can go away. That's one there, works for me. All right, and that's going to end the navigation methods. So that works fairly well. We got SQLite. We got that, so it trimmed it down to like 580 lines or so. Perfect. So that's filter type actions. This is filter model. Excellent. And then we don't have any view models for the rest of it yet, but my guess is when we go to build it, it'll tell me like stuff doesn't work, which is exactly what I expected. So we re-reference filter model here, and again we will rebuild, and it's going to tell me something else is wrong. Go figure, only 26 errors left this time. My guess is every filters and list view model is going to have a problem. Only 12 more errors. Only 6 more errors. All right. Delete permission. So this one basically says I want the detail page model, and it's going to create this. So this is inside a filter type detail view model, and it's trying to do all that, but we don't have those things. We deleted them. So we'll just leave them blank, I guess. We'll remove it. And this is equaling null by default, but I don't know. Like it has integers and a boolean, and all right, yeah, that's fine. Save model, save, close, build again. Okay, what do we got? All right, it says the build succeeded. It just didn't run, so we'll pull it to run. And essentially, what we want to end up doing is getting the view of filter types, the list to fill up. And this list view is going to be based off of the list no filters view, which is this one. Okay, so essentially it's just like what page and what's the order. Super simple, and that should, well, be super simple. We don't really have any pages. We don't have any results. It should just be the data grid and the result counter and, small stuff. But I don't think I have the view built, and I don't have any way to navigate there yet. So we're going to use this. We're going to take essentially everything up through the title, right, through here, and we're going to go over to list right here. We'll take everything up through the title. We'll just paste that back in. All right, now it seems like a lot of code. but it's really not that bad. We got view models, and then we can swap this and say filter types list. Okay. Filter type detail view model. So got everything loaded, which works for me. And we have column definitions. We have row definitions. Okay. It's again basic stuff. We have another grid and another set of columns and a stack panel and a button for adding a record and blah blah blah. So all of that's here. Now this is the page for filter list type view. Yep, that's this one. And then we want the code behind, which is this one. So we're going to go to the list no filters code behind, which is this one. And we're basically going to do all of the same thing. I'm just going to copy all of the events into here. Okay. And then we'll do filter type list view model, which we don't have access to right now. Most likely because there is no view model for that. So we'll go in here, we'll add a class, filter type list view model. All right, now we have a class. The list view model will be referenced to the template list view model, and we're just going to take everything that's in here. Now it seems like there's a lot. That's okay. Template list view model, page list view model, and we'll hit paste. Okay, simple enough. Replace everything that references template with filter type within the current document. Done. Then we do features. Okay. Features dot filter type. Views. I mean, the view model shouldn't necessarily have a reference to the views, so we can probably remove that. So we have interface change notifications, we have a list page with standard fields as a model, and then we have filter type actions. Boom, that one's there. All right, filter type filters. Okay, filters class, it's the actions class. The tab visibility, like is the filter tab going to be visible? Well, guess what? We're not using filters. So that goes away. And ideally, this will go away too. And then we have go to record, jump to record, and then we have filter collections. Well, if we're not using filters, then it doesn't matter. So I probably can take a lot of these out. So this goes away. Clear filters goes away. Populate filters goes away. Switch filter visibility goes away. Okay, and then we have populate page options, which again looks for the filter type data grid view. So that's the one reference that. All right, so I need a new view. So we're going to add a page filter type data grid view. All right, close that. This one should then, oh, data grid is a capital G. So we're going to delete page filter type data grid view. All right, so page gets created. Excellent. It's going to finish loading. Now I'm going to close it. And then that's going to finish loading. Well, maybe not. All right, well. Okay, build. There we go. Filter type list view model. we don't have that list view model. There it is. And then we can say data context equals view model, save. All right, error list. Where are we? This one. This one's referring to a filter type data grid. Yep, so that's populate page options. And then populate order by options, populate the jump to. This is saying get simple list. I don't think we have that. I think it was just get list. So let's go to definition here on that. SQLite table commands. Nope. SQLite methods. Yeah, it's just list. Okay. Boop. There we are. So we got the list. And again, this one says set filter type. It's nullable to filters. So we simply say no. And while we did program some of the methods in here for this, we really don't need it. So we can just take this out. Okay. That works for me. So this will get the data, list, page standard fields, and null, get next page of data, previous page data. I think a lot of these, they just come out of the list standard fields. I was just referring to them one time, so I can do them both steps at once. And then this is jump to selected record, probably won't be used since it was in the filter tab anyway. But, and then this is populate jump to. So yeah, we don't need that. And then this is jump to selected record. We don't need that. Okay. All right. So 1, excellent. And jump to, this is again filter type list. So we save that and we close it. All right. Does the project build? It does. Excellent. So now that we have the filter type list model, and then we would need the data grid, and the data grid is going to need a view model because we need to show the results in the page. So what do we need to do? Well, if we open up the data grid view here and we open up the data grid template, we should be able to just minimize the two and grab the content of the template and paste it like so. All right, now it didn't render because it requires a few things, like a reference to the view model and a reference to a proper view model, which is going to be not that one, it's going to be a data grid view model. So we're going to say add class filter type data grid underscore view model. Okay. And again, pretty simple. We go to the data grid view model out of template, and we take everything that we have in there. All right. And once again, we take every reference to template and we switch it to filter type within the current document, just like so. And because we broke this top section doing this, we simply switch it around a little bit. Okay, that's easy enough. Minimize that. Then we have filter type model, which we just change to filter type underscore M. Yep, that works. Then we have the list, then we have the selected item, then we have the actions, then we have the navigation. Then we have the get data and the list. Okay. Yep, you go to selected. So our view model for data grid now exists. And that means our data grid for template and our data grid for filter type. There we go. And we can simply hit build. Doesn't exist. Really. Filter type data grid view model. Filter type data grid view model. certainly seems to exist to me. All right, so this is the view. And what we'll do in the data grid is we'll go to the code behind the view, and we'll find that it doesn't have anything. Then the data grid code behind in the view here does have stuff. So we'll grab that. We'll go to the code behind here, like so. And that's the constructor. Yeah, so same sort of concept. Essentially, we need the filter type, data grid model, VM, equals new. Like so. And then we say data context equals VM. Save. Okay, template goes away. Data grid comes in. Data grid comes in. Data grid gets saved and built. Does it render? Build says succeeded. Okay, then we have a data grid. This one says record ID formatted, which, yeah, it's, again, we're going to replace record ID with filter type ID within the current document. We'll just do that. And take out that. So we should just be able to see binding. This comes from list templates. So we have to say template filter type. Yep. Filter type name. And we can make that go away. So ID number, text field. Text field is filter type. Pretty basic. Pretty frickin' basic. So then we can take the formatted off that. Right, and we have the double click. So if we go to the definition on that, we see that it does the go to selected. So that seems to be all put together. So in our menu, which we can search for, we have the main menu view. We can go down to interface control types and we can enter another button. We can replace the words interface control type with filter type. Replace. Go to definition. Go to definition. Save. Yep, we'll take this. And same thing applies. Filter type, selection. Very good. So we have list view. Now we have a function within the view model that takes us to where we need to go. So the code behind then allows us to access that function. Okay, easy enough. And then this button is going to be replaced with filter types. Save. Excellent. So that means we should be able to click the button for filter types, which will take us to the list of filter types where we can then edit the filter type. And it says table V filter type, no such table. Okay, that is correct actually. So we have create a view, server. So we have V filter type, select all from T filter type. Save. Yep. here, pause, debug, step out, okay, debug, step out. All right, we have this. So we're basically saying select all this count from here. That's the one right there. Save. Since there's really not any wheres here, yeah, we can take that out. And then we can put this one here. From that, order by that, offset that. Yeah, okay, cool, continue. Now try it. Nope, we need to refresh it. Okay, filter types. It's not getting it. All right, well, we're going to stop that. And I think I know what I did. So we'll clear our filter. Filter type, data grid view. Sorry, data grid view model. It's missing. I noticed my property changed. Save. List view model. Also missing it. That again. Still not there. Is it actually running anything? So let's try our actions. So put a break here, which is fine. V filter type ID, filter type name, yep. But why doesn't it exist? Why there's no data? So select all from T filter type. T filter type, I could have sworn I had put data into. That's super strange. There's the problem. I have a drop table statement. It exists in the create, so it didn't matter what I had before. It was getting rid of it. So let's search like that one, filter terms. Yep. Those need to be specific statements. Okay. Run. So now that I have T filter term dot filter term ID. Really? So filter term ID. So filter term, that's probably inside of the SQLite setup file, because I was dropping it and probably repopulating it each and every time, which is not super helpful. But so filter term has a reference here. Drop SQLite table filter term. This has 0 references. Okay. But populate is another one. So drop tables commands, table creation, table population. Here we are. So this is creation step type, which isn't being used. This is filter terms, which has two references to it. One is in filter terms actions, and one is in SQLite setup. So I don't think this actually gets called anywhere, a populate SQLite table. But I would like to think that this other one, yeah, default data. So where does default data get run? So this one basically says if this is, false, then quit. If this is false, then quit. But when I was trying to populate default data every time, that doesn't help. So we would want to populate it if the database didn't previously exist. So when we create it, all right, we can find out if the database first exists by creating another Boolean. Does database exist, essentially? So public Boolean, does SQLite DB exist? Okay. Be really basic. Boolean, action completed. Well, we don't need that. We don't need this. All we need to do is say return file exists. That's it. And to make it Boolean, file exists, I guess. File exists by default is false, and file exists equals that. And then down here, we could say return file exists. Okay. So now, does database exist? Okay. And we can copy that. And we can go to the one reference where the database is being created. And essentially, if it doesn't exist, then we do this stuff. But if it does, we don't need to. So we can say is if does SQLite exist, and we would basically say false, put an open parenthesis, open bracket there, an open bracket there. So essentially, if it does not exist, do these steps for setup. Otherwise, it exists, and we're fine. And then we can probably do like a function that clears all the database objects and resets to default. Where it like drops all the tables and then repopulates default data. Part of the setup. We could have a script that replaces that later. So does SQLDB exist? That's a fine method. And then we could put in public Boolean reset SQLite DB to default values. Okay, pretty simple. We could go in like this. Actually not this one. Take the value from here for action completed. Yep. So Boolean action completed. We wouldn't do a process type of deal. We wouldn't do a directory or a file exists or anything like that. we would simply do a method to like drop all tables, essentially. Drop tables commands. Yep. Drop table, build a term, template, drop SQLite table. Yeah. So we can copy that, and we can have another function in here that basically says drop all tables, public boolean, no, drop all SQLite tables. And this can basically like be, okay, we have action completed, and we can remove that. So at that point in time, we can say this, and our term, template, okay, we can basically cycle through all of them. But we want some sort of a message, some sort of confirmation to the user. So we would say string message to user to confirm. Okay. 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 So then we can do something like if message box dot show message to user to confirm. So that's the message, and then we can say confirm action message box button yes no message box icon or image. We would do a warning and message box result no is the default. So we would basically say is if this equals message box result yes, sorry, if message box no, return false. That's it. And then here it's going to be a to-do line. Okay, so that drops all, and then we would then want populate SQLite table, SQLite filter terms, SQLite template, SQLite default data. There we go. So the reset, yep, reset all SQLite DB, reset SQLite DB to default values. We basically would say drop all SQLite tables, populate default data, and we would say if. Okay, so if we drop them all, then we repopulate them, and we would say true. Else we return false. So what we could actually do is if false, return false. Okay, and then we have action completed true and action completed true. So this becomes our reset SQLite DB, and we can program that to a button somewhere in the system, a menu, a command, whatever. That way it'll stop trying to recreate and repopulate the tables to whatever my setup is each time I run this. Okay. So now we have filter types, and we can open the connection. And we have nothing, which we knew we had nothing. And we hit the add record button, and we get nothing. So we would have to go to our filter type list, go to our button over here. Our button does not have any click events, so we would go to click, button add record, go to definition. Okay, so we have nothing. VM, go to VM.actions. Go to new filter type. There we go. That works. Filter types. Open the connection. Add. Okay, and we get a pop-up view now. Of course, that view isn't built up. Of course not. So we have filter type new, which is an empty page with absolutely nothing on it. So how do we fix that besides going through and fixing it? Okay. And then, so this is the new filter type new view. We're going to go down to templates and find the template for the new view. And then we're just going to take everything from data context on through the grid and go here with it and drop that in. Okay. And then we replace, we don't have the view model, add class, filter type, new view model. Okay, go down to the template for new view model. And same thing applies. We grab everything. We go to filter type, new view model, paste everything in, and simply replace this with this. Minimize that. New record. We can replace the word template with filter type. Got it. Then document. Thank you. Yep. Thank you. So we have the new record that we're building. We have the actions that go with that, the navigation to help control that, and then save new records. Just add filter type to SQL Server. Well, we don't add this to the SQL Server, so that goes away. Okay, and then get rid of that. All right, so then you have cancel pop up. Okay, so that makes some sense, right? It's only like 80 lines long, a view model. Okay, we could go to our new view model, and we want to put in iNotify property changed again. That seems to make this stuff work. So we are in the filter type new view, which then puts us in a filter type new view model, which now we can hit build. Because the filter type new view model exists, it should tell me what's wrong with that. All right, yeah, probably. Okay, let's see. Build. field is in new record. So this is filter type new record, and we just replace text field with filter type name. Okay. And date field we don't need. Integer field we don't need. Decimal field we don't need. All that goes away. Okay. Save. And we're going to build it again. Still says this does not exist in the namespace, but it's clearly giving you the value. So new view model does exist there. So go to definition. Okay, so this is the code behind on the new page. So we would just need to go to the new template page, go find the code behind, and then we would take all of this and go here, like that, and we would add filter type new view model VM equals new, and if context equals view model. Thank you. Save. Close, close. Does it run now? Yes, it runs now. So we get here, we go here, and we say dates. Unique constraint. No. Alright, so filter type, filter term. Huh. Filter type. Filter types has default set and variables, but it's just not displaying any of them. So why not? Data grid view, data grid view model, actions. Okay. Let's try a break there. This should run select filter type from sequence. I wonder, because at one point in time we said, hey, if the filters are null, just leave. But that doesn't seem to be the case. I removed that. So we have get data, which is going to be called by a bunch of different places, list view and everything else. So we should have 8 filter types. We do have 8 filter types, but it's not here. So filter type actions, does that, it does. Data grid, does that, yes. Models, that doesn't. Rebuild. Seems like I have to have that on everything. Okay, take this off. We know we're getting it. It's not here. It says I have 8 records. It just does not display said records. So the data grid view model has list filter types. Data grid view has list filter types. This data context is data grid view model. Data grid view model is here. You know what? I'm willing to bet it's basic loaded. Page loaded. It's not getting the data when the page loads. So if we go to the definition, that says get data. Otherwise, it's just stuck in the view model, stuck in the actions class. There we go. So now we have dates or date range, and the current filter type isn't loading into the detail view because the filter type detail view model isn't loaded, isn't built up, but it is loaded up. Detail view isn't loaded up. That's not loaded up. Okay. That's the view models here. All right. And we have to set the data context on the page to be a reference to the view model of the detail view model, like so. And then this detail view, we can go down to templates, detail view, and get a couple of them. We just go into here and place it over the existing grid, and then remove the duplicated data context. And now we have a couple of fields. Inside of record data, we have a text field. Below that, we have dates and other fields we don't need. So we can just remove those. And then replace the word template with filter type within the current document. And we replace the word text field with filter type name throughout the current document. Filter type, like so. And we have a title here for basic data. Well, it's really basic data altogether. So we have that, we have columns, we have the filter type, and we can actually set this to with auto. Save that. Okay. Current filter type, record ID. What is this? Current. Oh, record ID gets replaced with filter type ID. Not fully. No. Dot record ID gets replaced with dot filter type ID. TXB. Record ID navigation. Read only record ID. Yeah. But I don't understand why that one it doesn't like. The resource text box read only. Huh. Rebuild it. Okay, so this is save. So yeah, so that all goes back to record tracking because that's inside of the system model for record tracking because we put dirty, loaded, and editable inside of here. But if we instead took the editable and put it inside of the filter type model directly, is dirty message. And oops. Text is dirty message. Record tracking. type model is editable, right? And now it is dirty directly on it. Thirteen errors. White space is missing. With with supposed to be auto. That was the problem. Okay. Um, so if we took this and we just removed it, that change tracking, we wouldn't need any of this because it doesn't exist. Not for this. Creation, record modification. Okay. This is a tab item for record tracking. We don't need that. Not on this one, so that's gone. All right, and then we got this. Build. So I don't understand that one. Filter type detail does not contain a definition for button site click. So if we go to the definition of that, we find that the filter type detail view code behind does not have anything. So we need to go to template detail view code behind and grab all of these things. And then we could go to the filter type detail code behind and paste all of these things. And then that's where we would model VM equals new. Okay, so then we have VM delete record for filter type detail view model. We have a save record, we just don't have a delete record. So let's comment that out. We have save, page loaded, page editable, current template, make editable, current filter type, make editable, but we don't have a make editable inside of filter type model because there's no model here for this. So I think we have to take filter record tracking. We have a method down here called make editable, and we could then move that to the filter type methods like so. It would just be easier to leave the record tracking in at this point and just not have the properties used. But oh well. Close all tabs, run it again. What do we get? That did not get us there. Why didn't it get us there? Willing to bet it's because we are missing the detail view models. Notify changed event. By property changed. Save. Okay, now try it. Date range, ID number 1. That now exists. Text search, ID number 8. Perfect, that exists. So these are the filter types. Then there are also filter terms. And then there are filter type terms, which still need to be populated. Okay, well, that works enough for now. So we can get into a list, we can see a list of records, we can double click on a record, we can see the record, we can choose to edit the record and make changes to how this is spelled. Can we also then save the record? Sucks. Step out. Step out. Okay, so we have this. This is then record modify timestamp, which we don't need. We don't have filter name, where filter type, done. Okay, save. Yep, back. Date or date range. This one will be deleted. I don't think I deleted it, but you get the idea. So now it updates. So we have filter types. We still need to connect filter types and filter terms and repopulate that. And then once we have filter type terms, then we can populate the dropdowns with the connected values based on the classes. Okay, another time.